All right, what is up, my brothers? So in this post that I'm about to read to you, it deals with two of my wheelhouses dealing with relationships and also finance and credit card debt. Basically, we've got a family member that's causing havoc on a relationship and causing a little bit of stress. But let me read this to you. My sister, who's 25, the gal writing this is 29, moved out of the family home due to abusive behavior from our brother. Due to it being a quick decision, she didn't have much savings and struggling with money. She has a steady job, but not very well paying. She has racked up quite a lot of credit card debt and is slowly paying it off, but one of the cards is about to put the interest rate way up, and she says she flat out can't afford to pay it and doesn't know what to do. For those of you that don't know, there's this concept called universal default that the credit card industry uses. And what happens is if your credit card score starts to go down, so if your credit score, starts to go down, you may miss a payment on one credit card. That can actually let another credit card company, even if you're up to date with them, jack up your interest rate because they see the risk factor change. It's just part of what's been written in the law, which isn't very favorable to the consumer, but that's how things are. She can't get any loans or credit cards as her credit is ruined. She has asked for a loan for $1,500 to pay off the card. That is high interest. She says that she can't afford, she says that she can afford to pay us $150 per month. So this gal is trying to get her and her husband to lend her sister money at a rate which would seem reasonable. I mean, $150 a month. So it would take 10 months. So interest-free, not only a loan, but an interest-free loan is what she's trying to get her, I guess, husband or boyfriend to dish out. She doesn't have anyone else to ask. My husband is the sole earner. Okay, so now she's spending his money. So the guy is the guy that brings home the bacon. I'm presuming if this is a conventional type of relationship, if he's bringing home the bacon, she's the one cooking it up, but let's keep going. And I am doing a post-grad course. So she's not. She's in school. It's important to note that my husband has a very high salary. Yes, it is very important to note that he has a strong disposable income, right? Because I'm pretty sure we're about to paint him as a villain right about now. We are way more financially secure than anyone else we know, and $1,500 is only 1% of our current savings. I don't need to work unless I want to. We've had many discussions about this. So husband is refusing to loan my sister the money as he says he doesn't trust her to pay it back, and her moving out is so hastily it is proof that she is bad with decisions and money. Sounds like a rational guy to me. I like him. My husband doesn't want to know the full story my husband doesn't know the full story as I don't want him to hate my family, but I explained she was very unhappy living at home and needed to move out ASAP. So there's something going on there she's not even writing about or even telling her husband that's going behind the scenes, which I suspect would probably make his position even stronger or be even more vehemently opposed to bailing out said sister. Anyway, let's keep going. My sister is my best friend and I would do anything for her. Okay, of course. I explained I will be getting her the money however I can. She is my family, and if he's not willing to help, I will get it some other way. Here we go. He was furious by this and said that I am his responsibility, but nobody else. I believe we should help family when we can. And it's always funny how somebody, I mean, it always seems to be like a woman in a situation like this where he's earning all the money and, you know, she doesn't earn anything, or she's a student, but she's spending money that she doesn't actually work hard to earn. And you know, we'll point and sputter at the guy and say, well, he's furious and it's out of line sort of thing. Anyway, so he was furious by all this and said, I am his responsibility. I believe we should help family when we can, and this is money that we wouldn't miss, and I trust her to pay it back. Well, if it's money that you wouldn't miss, then why are you all of a sudden, like, it, you know, and one side of the mouth is, it doesn't matter if she even pays it back, essentially, is what she's saying, because we've got, you know, he's loaded, essentially. But I still trust her to pay it back. She didn't even trust her to pay it back. Anyway, we're currently not speaking, and I don't know what to do. All right, well, let's have a conversation about finances and a marriage and a sister that makes terrible decisions in life and see where we arrive with this one, huh? So I'm going to start off by saying, look, I'm not your average dude. And I'm the kind of guy that likes it when adults take responsibility. And make no mistake, a 25-year-old woman, you know, this sister here, is a full-grown ass adult. One, if you can't afford to pay off your credit card in full every single month and zero it out, essentially, like the way that you're supposed to use credit cards, the way that I was taught to use credit cards by my father was use the card, rack up, you know, the points, travel around the world for free, and pay off the balance in full every single month. You never carry a balance, you never pay interest, you know, the cost is low. You basically use the credit card for your own benefit. It doesn't use you. Sadly, that's not the way most people operate, because so many people today are so incredibly entitled and bratty that they think that, or they're so used to people bailing them out all the time. And I think that's probably, what we're dealing with here in this scenario is we got a gal that's, been used to maybe family members or guys in her life. Oh, you got a problem? No problem. We'll just dish out some cash and we'll throw it at it and we'll solve that problem. And that doesn't teach anybody accountability or any kind of responsibility. It doesn't sound like a lot of money, right? Like, it's only a few $1,000s. I'm not sure what this large credit card balance is or if something else was missing, but it only sounds like a few $1,000s. And if she's got the kind of job where she's not able to pay off her balance and she's carrying a balance and paying interest, and credit card companies are even perhaps jacking up the interest, then that's nobody else's fault but hers, right? And you don't learn life lessons if you're constantly bailing people out that make shit decisions. You make a shit decision, you live with the consequences. I was having this conversation with a buddy of mine, and the other day we were talking about parenting and the likes, and one of the comments that he made, is when he was growing up as a kid, they would do things like, oh, don't go and stick that in the electrical socket, and they sort of helicopter, parents today. But back then it would just be like, well, he'll learn soon enough, right? If he goes and gets a zap, he'll never do it again. So that's kind of the era, maybe the generation. Maybe I'm dated, maybe I'm a dinosaur. You can call me whatever you want. But at the end of the day, the truth of the matter is, people should be taking responsibility and accountability for their own choices, their decisions, their financial decisions, and the like. This might be financially difficult for a person to deal with, but hey, you created the problem, you solved the problem. Don't spend the money that you don't have, one, and two, make more money and pay off the debt. I always tell people, whenever somebody tries to make a problem your problem, you just say, look, don't make your problems my problems. I have enough problems right now. I don't need you to introduce your problems to my life. Now, this is where people go, oh, but Rich, you're just a big meanie. You should help out family. You should bail them out. The answer is no. Now, this guy, the husband, is the breadwinner. She is a student. I'm assuming he is paying for her school, and he stated quite clearly, you're my responsibility. Nobody else is my responsibility. I will take care of you. But she's trying to extend that. She's like, well, if I am his responsibility, this is the wife, if I am his responsibility, then my sister is part of my family, so she should also be his responsibility too. Wrong. That is not the way to treat your relationship or your marriage, or the guy that is bending over backwards to provide and protect and preside for the family. He is not an ATM. You're not owed anything because a family member or a friend or whoever happens to be in your inner circle makes some terrible decisions in life. Let them figure it out. You can't keep bailing people out. You can't keep training wheels on their bicycle for their entire lifetime. At some point, you got to take the training wheels off and try to ride the bike by yourself, and maybe you're going to fall down. Maybe you're not. But most people, they do fall down and they get a scrape or a cut. But you know what? Scrapes and cuts, they heal. So, with that being said, I invite you guys to leave a comment below and you let me know what you think. This is the way that I would run it. This would be my advice in this situation. It would not be to bend over backwards and fix this or bail somebody out or offer them an interest-free loan. Look, if you're going to offer anybody a loan, charge interest. Because the banks and credit card companies charge interest. Why would you issue a loan without any interest payments? Why is there some sort of special treatment here? That just teaches somebody that they can go and fuck up in life and then, poor me, I'm a victim. My brother at home is making life difficult, so I have to leave. Now I need somebody to bail me out. When you set that mindset, when you set that baseline thinking for women, men, it doesn't matter, that there's always a bailout, there's always a helping hand to save you, with your stupid decisions, then you're going to continue through life with an entitled, bratty attitude that there's always somebody that needs to bail you out. Brother, brother-in-law, the government, whoever it happens to be. I'll keep it simple. Don't make your problems my problems. You guys comment below, leave a thumbs up. Check the top pinned comment. There's some useful stuff in there you might want to take a look at, like my website, opt into my email list, my supplement line, grab my book. We'll see you guys later. Peace out.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.